What's going on, my beautiful people? Welcome back to ACONNECTIONTV here on YouTube, the one place on the World Wide Web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And welcome to my channel. If this is your first time seeing me, follow me on all my social media links right below: Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, ACONNECTIONTV. Also, I want you guys, since this is a gay men I have a question video, I want all of my gay men to follow the Facebook group down below. I think we're at 27 members. It'll be super dope to get to 100 members by the end of the month. And what is that group all about? We discuss travel and we have conversation, which is similar to what this is. We're conversing, right? So yeah, join that Facebook group. That'll be super dope to get to 100 followers by the end of the month. And shout out to everybody that clicked the like button. That easy to do, free to do like button on the first Gay Men I Have a Question video. Is it all about looks? Okay, currently right now we are sitting at 99 likes on that last video. So I told you guys, if you gave me 50 likes, that I would continue the series. And hey, I'm willing to do it day to day, baby, as long as y'all engage with me. All right. So far, we got about 57 comments because I've responded to just about every comment that actually showed up on under the video. So shout out to y'all for leaving a comment. Shout out to y'all for liking and hitting that and crunching that like button. Crunching that like button. Listen, I need y'all to do me another solid. Click the like button on this video. Let's get this video to 50 likes. Or more. Sheesh. The more likes we get, the more I'm able to do videos like this. You know what I'm saying? All about that engagement. What's going on, y'all? We're going to do a quick little recap on the last video. I'm going to take the top 5 comments on the last video. It'll be very random, and we're going to talk about it briefly. But this particular video, y'all read the title. This particular video is Gay Men, I Have a Question. What's the definition of a top? Okay, we about to talk about it. Listen, I was at the club last night and so many topics that we need to discuss came up in the conversation that I was having with Benjamin and Byron, Jamar, and Tony Bernard. So listen, we're going to get into some things, all right? We're going to get into some things. But I want to do the recap. So let's do the recap. All right, first comment from 88JL is it all about looks? Absolutely not. I'm only speaking for myself. Looks may get you noticed, but personality is going to keep my attention. I'm attracted physically to different shapes and sizes. Maybe when I was in my early 20s, I had more of a weight type, but now I like them all, whether skinny, muscular, or big. Times have changed and so has my attraction. The things that turned me on then doesn't do it for me now. So looks only partially are important. Okay, let's scroll on down here. Let's see. Some of y'all was leaving like paragraphs upon paragraphs. Y'all was leaving novels. Let's see how, yeah, this is a novel. I can't read that right now. That's another novel, but I'll give it a shot. Shout out to D Starks 86. He says the term I think would fit best is desirable. This was a good comment. Desirability has many facets: physical traits, power, masculinity, money, and a long list of criteria that is largely dependent on societal norms. Desirability is deeply rooted in other societal problems: racism, homophobia, anti-fat politics. West, by social norms, you are more desirable than someone who is less masculine, overweight, or shorter, etc. We know this. This desirability is currency. It provides access and sometimes the benefit of the doubt. As a fat gay person, we do not have the overall desirability. And for the record, desirability does not equal more value or better, but it is wielded and weaponized. Also, telling fat people to fully commit to a process is problematic. Fat people do not need advice from anyone who has never been fat to tell them how to maneuver spaces where they do not fit. Okay, so let's comment on that. I didn't tell y'all what to do. I was just suggesting what y'all should do if you are one of those particular people that complain all day. So that's what that was. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do in your life, But don't come around me all the time talking about, oh, I want to lose weight. Then go lose weight, bruh. Go lose weight. So that's where that was coming from. All right, let's go. Recap. This one is not too long. Rude.sobriety. For me, no. From my experience, I tend to get questioned for the men I find attractive because they're not the stereotypical fine. I love straightforward, confident, empathetic men, abs and all. If you don't have these qualities, you're a chop for me. It's a lot of physically attractive men with the nastiest demeanor towards life and other people. I agree. Let's see. Jay Roberts, in truth, it does start with looks, but it should never end there. So many of us are fighting against our own insecurities regarding our self-image. We may never measure up to the man we think we are in our heads. Okay. Is this a paragraph? Calvin Hunt. All right. For me, it seems like the guys I want are into something or someone else, and the guys that want me, I'm not into them. We want what we want. We want what we can't for some reason. Okay. As far as fat, there is a huge gray area in between skinny and fat. So I can only answer for people who have my body type. And I must say, I like being thick in the city I'm living in. So I don't know. All right, listen here. Shout out to all y'all leaving those comments. Listen, I respect everybody's opinion and how they vibe with what their life consists of for them. So it is what it is. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just basically how you feel at the end of the day. But let's get into the next topic because I don't want this to be a long video. I'm striving for these videos not to be crazy long, right? So the definition of a top. I was talking to my boy Benjamin. Shout out to Benji. What's going on, Benji? Matter of fact, did y'all hit that like button? Hit that like button. Let's get to 50 likes. The definition of a top, and he said for him, the definition of a top is the person that's doing the sticking. Okay. So that encompasses everybody, right? That encompasses women. That encompasses feminine men, masculine men, whatever. That encompasses everybody. Anybody in the relationship that is doing the sticking is considered a top by definition of Benjamin. Now, would I agree? Yes. I would agree. I do agree. And that applies to me with regards to the definition of a top. But there's a but. We get into some things with this conversation, right? Dealing with gay men. I just had some breakfast and it's late and I had breakfast and I had like a lot of seasoning on it. So it's caught in my throat. But we get into some things with this conversation because I just saw a recent video with this guy in the video, and this guy was what would people call feminine, right? Fingernails, painted fingernails. It seemed like he had makeup on, I'm not sure, but he was giving real, all of that, right? So he was feminine, right? So he was like in the video talking about how he feels. Why is it problematic for feminine dudes to want to top their dude? And I reposted that video on my stories, and I think I said like huh or I think I said or whatever the case may be. Because listen, nowadays, even back in the day, I'm not even gonna say nowadays. Every day since humans have been on this earth, we've all had our likes and our dislikes. What we want, what we don't want, what we prefer, what we don't prefer, what we would rather not, right? Since men have been walking this earth, we've all had what we like and what we don't like. So for this guy to be on the video talking about why is it problematic for feminine men to top in the situation, I mean, it's where we would typically answer that question stems from how the world has been constructed, right? We thrive through or live through or maneuver through heteronormative situations, constructions, like the types that we deal with, like what we look at as like the blueprint. Heterosexuals, we look at the heterosexuals as the blueprint of how life should be and how relationships are. A lot of us have gotten away from that. A lot of us have veered off away from that to define a relationship for what we want the relationship to be for us, and not necessarily look at the man and the woman as the blueprint. So a lot of us have gotten away from that, but there are some of us that have not. And there are some of us that utilize mommy and daddy to determine how our situation is going to be for us and our relationship. And it is what it is. So, you know, be it that that's the regular thing that we typically look at, that's our gauge for everything in life. And so when we think of top, bottom, typically, generally speaking, because of the heterosexual construct that we have in this world, we think top, daddy, we think bottom, mommy. Why? Because daddy was sticking mommy, and daddy was releasing in mommy, and that's what we know. Mommy, daddy. Daddy is synonymous with taking care of things in the house. Daddy is synonymous with being the man of the house, the OG, you know, the bill payer, you know, the dominant force. Mommy is synonymous with, you know, taking care of the household, you know, cleaning up, receiving, you know, being the nurturer, the comforter, you know, to snuggle up with. Hey, I didn't create it. It's what we all know. And if y'all out here saying, no, y'all need to cut that out, because that's what we know, right? Again, because that's what we know, that's what mass majority of the minds go to connect what would be considered a top, aka daddy, and what would be considered a bottom, aka mommy. It is what it is. There are a lot of us that don't equate the heteronormative concepts or constructs with gay lifestyle. There are a lot of us out there that don't. I particularly don't, to a certain degree, but I particularly don't either, right? And so for me, he's like, why is it problematic that a feminine guy could want a top, could want a top? And it is problematic, quote unquote, because feminine men in the gay culture would be considered the mommy in the relationship. And so mommy, when does mommy stick daddy? As kids, we know that to be the case? No. So that's why naturally, or for the majority of the minds that are out there that operate that space in the heteronormative construct, that's why it's problematic. If you have an open mind or an open view of the world kind of guy, if you're with that kind of guy, open-minded kind of guy, then you probably won't have that problem with them. And they'll be like, okay, baby, I love you, let's go. It's possible, it's possible. Like the Cinderella, it's possible for a feminine top to exist in this world. It's possible for the guy that's, I don't know, listen. Listen, anyways, it's all possible, right? But at the end of the day, you have to connect with a person that vibes with your wavelength, that's on the same mindset as you, For the feminine guys out there that like the masculine tops, if you are interested in that masculine top and are going in that direction, make sure that masculine top is someone that's willing to be open-minded to you being the feminine guy in the relationship to potentially want a top. Get that out of the way first and foremost before you decide that y'all trying to be in this long-term relationship, and then after 8 months of you receiving, now all of a sudden you want to be the sticker. And y'all ain't never had no conversation about it. That's kind of crazy, right? That's kind of crazy. You should have had that conversation with that masculine top to figure out if that's something that he would be interested in. All right? I think that's fair. Because to assume that just because y'all are in love, that I'm supposed to just bend over and that's not something that I naturally do, one, or I'm supposed to bend over and that's not something that I naturally do, two, for a feminine guy, the conversation should have been had, right? And so for me, again, the definition of a top is someone in the relationship that's sticking. But if we want to, you know, pile up some more on that, it is very subjective to the person that you are in a relationship with. So you should always figure out what the definition of a top is with who you're with. And figure out the roles in y'all's situation and how that's going to work. Again, establishing roles based off of the heteronormative constructs that we know to be today. And if you are the type of person that don't want roles or don't like roles in a relationship, all of that should be conversed. Y'all should have that conversation and decide if that works for y'all or if it doesn't work for y'all. And I think that's okay. You know, I think that's okay. But let's not make this a situation where it's like I'm discriminating against feminine men because I don't want a feminine man to top me. What's the problem with that? That's not a problem. That's not a problem. If you are a feminine man and you want to top your dude, find a dude that is okay with being topped by feminine men. Because in a mind like mine, it ain't gonna work. And you know what's very interesting? I was speaking to Benjamin and Tony, and they all had the same reaction, right? And I think it's because we all live in that heteronormative construct or concept of knowing daddy is masculine and dominant and taking care of the house, paying the bills. Mommy, the receiver, aka the bottom, is, you know, submissive and loving and all of that, and that feminine side, right? That's what our minds know. So typically speaking, growing up in that space, we're like, oh, okay, yeah, dude, all right, cool. Like, yeah, oh, okay, that's your role. Cause, you know, so anyways, what I was saying is I would point out visually feminine men at the club. I was pointing out visually feminine men at the bar, and I was like, would you let him top you? And immediately they were like, what? And I was like, oh, okay. So then that made me come up with this concept for the video, the definition of a top. Because feminine men can bust it down. They can bust it down. They just won't be busting it down on me. And that's okay. It don't need to be an argument. You know what I'm saying? Why does it have to be an argument? I don't understand that. You know? I don't understand that. Where's the argument? Why is the argument? You know? Like, you know, just because you like chicken and I don't be out here, you know, cussing out vegan people because they choose not to eat meat. Like, you know, vegetarians, y'all know what I'm saying. You know, so why, that's another question for, you know, men out there. Why do gay men feel it necessary to weaponize someone's preference or what they like and say, oh, you're against me because you don't want me? No. We're not gonna play them kind of games. We can't play those kind of games. That's just not fair. So I'm not gonna allow myself to be subjected to that kind of thinking because that's not how this life works. Everyone likes what they like and everyone prefers what they prefer. That's it. And I think the next video that I'm gonna do is gonna be talking about preference versus discrimination, because there are a lot of individuals that are like, well, that's not, why don't you like me? I'm a good person. All of that's great. You could be one of the best people in the world. If you are a feminine guy and you want to top somebody, make sure whoever you are wanting to top is cool with getting topped, one, and is cool with getting topped by a feminine guy, two. Find that out. Because, you know, everybody likes what they like and everybody doesn't like what they don't like. It is what it is. It doesn't have to be a problem, people. Stop making everything a problem. Stop making everything a discriminatory type of situation. Just because your feelings are hurt that someone's not choosing you. There are a lot of people in this world that won't choose me for quite a few reasons. Even though that comment was like, oh, you're higher up in the desirability realm. I'm like, okay. There are quite a few people that I've been attracted to that won't see it for me at all. At all. You know, I've actually had a lot of issues dealing with me doing my Mona character and me trying to be in a relationship, you know, People see me doing the Mona character and automatically assume that I'm a drag queen or I'm trying to be trans or whatever the case may be. And for them, that won't work with them wanting to be in a relationship with somebody that, you know, is an actor and does that female character. I had to be okay with that. It is what it is. I have to be okay with that. Just like you have to be okay with whether or not someone wants to be topped, one, and whether or not somebody wants to be topped by a feminine guy, two. And that's another thing. We need to stop, like, oh, that's another video, like bottom shaming. That's a whole nother video. That's a whole nother video, right? That's a whole nother video. Because let me touch upon that real quick before I end this video, because I don't want these videos to be too long. Again, my final thought is feminine guy can do whatever they want to do in a relationship. I just feel like you have to make sure that you're in a relationship that allows you to be as free as you want with no issues, right? And you have to be with someone that wants that, you know? And that goes on both sides. Like, there are some men that don't want to be with masculine men. I've seen two feminine dudes together. It's not my place to question it. I don't even care. Whatever. Clearly, the both of you like each other. Clearly, the both of you are okay with each other. I don't give two shakes of a lamb's tail about what y'all got going on and who's the top and who's the bottom. I can care less. I just know what works for me, and I know what I want. And, you know, the definition of a top for me, again, going back to it, is someone who sticks the person in the relationship. But to further lather that on for me, it's that daddy role, that man, that man's man, that masculine man that takes care of everything, that you don't have to worry for anything because everything's taken care of. Like, and you know, y'all know what it is when y'all in that sexual space and y'all call that person daddy. You know what that comes from. Cut it out. It comes from the man that takes care of, the man that provides, the man that's a man's man in the situation. For some reason, a lot of us are attracted to that. We love that demeanor, and that turns us on. Nothing wrong with it. Okay? Nothing wrong with it at all. You just need to know who you're getting involved with. People, sound off in this video. What is the definition of a top for you? Is it the same definition as mine and Benjamin's, the person that's sticking in the relationship? Or do you want to add on top of that? Leave your comments below the video. Leave your comments below the video. Do that, do that, do that. Follow the Facebook group. Let's get this video to 50 likes and let's talk about it. We could talk about it further in length on the Facebook group too, you know, because YouTube be, you know, I had to try to make this video as PG as possible so YouTube won't block it. Also, real quick before we get into this video, I need to let y'all know about, you know, the people that be all about the looks and the heavy people or whatever, you know, that be having issues of trying to find diets or whatever. Listen, y'all need to check out this keto diet. Check out this keto diet. Y'all can be eating cupcakes and cookies and losing weight. Take a look at this video real quick, and I'll be right back.
Today I'm going to tell you about a diet that has the potential to completely revolutionize your relationship with food, your body, and yourself. It's called the ketogenic diet. You may have already heard about it. After all, it's one of the hottest topics in today's biggest wellness communities. But don't be fooled, because keto isn't just some new trend. The diet has actually been around for nearly a century. Thousands of people have relied on it over the years to help them achieve their weight loss goals. So if you're curious about what keto is all about, this video is a great place to start. When we refer to a keto lifestyle, we're referring to a lifestyle filled with higher amounts of fats, moderate amounts of proteins, and a very low amount of carbs. Basically, you're taking all the glucose from carbs that you're used to relying on for energy and switching it for an energy source that comes from fats instead, called ketones. It's a definite game changer, and it can take some getting used to. If you've been following a standard modern American diet for most of your life, you've probably heard a ton about the alleged evils of saturated fats. But on the keto diet, you'll learn to rely on healthy saturated fats like the ones that come from oils and avocados as your main source of fuel. You see, each carb, fat, and protein that you put into your body is considered a macronutrient, or macros for short. On keto, you want more fat macros and very little carb macros. So now that you know about macronutrients, what exactly do ketoers eat? After all, a high-fat, low-carb diet is a complete reversal from the status quo. First things first, you're still going to want vegetables. Load up on leafy greens like spinach, but stay moderate on cruciferous veggies like cabbage and cauliflower. Next, invite high-fat proteins and dairies into your life and throw out that skim milk forever. Low-fat dairy products, grains, and sugars are all banned from the keto way of life. Sound challenging? I promise the food is actually delicious, and soon enough, you'll find that you don't crave carbs at all. A good example of a keto breakfast would be scrambled eggs with avocado or a vegan porridge made with coconut flour, flaxseed oil, and vanilla protein powder topped with berries. For lunch, trade in your sandwich for a green salad with bacon and blue cheese, accompanied by a cup of roasted red pepper soup. Dinner, my personal favorite, is a delicious goldmine of opportunity. Instead of traditional pasta, try a one-pot shrimp Alfredo or a lasagna casserole made with spaghetti squash layered in ground beef, spicy sausage, and of course a nice helping of cheese. If you need inspiration for keto meals or don't know how to keep track of all these macros, click the link below this video to get a diet plan customized for your needs. So why does this keto thing work anyway? Are you really going to lose weight by replacing skim milk for ground beef smothered with cheese? The answer is yes. If you stick with it, you absolutely will. Here's the thing, a common misconception is that carbs should be our go-to source for energy. Think about a runner who carb loads before a big race. But that's just because carbs are the easiest molecule for our bodies to break down and use as fuel. When you don't eat carbs, your body turns to another superior source of fuel, fat. Without glucose, your liver is forced to turn fat into fatty acids and ketones, which means you're essentially running on fat. Quite literally, you become a fat-burning machine. Rapidly burning fat? Sign me up. But that's not the only benefit of switching to a ketogenic diet. Many studies also show that a keto lifestyle is beneficial to people suffering from chronic health conditions like cancer, diabetes, epilepsy, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's disease. If you're looking to ramp up your weight loss and boost your health, then I highly suggest you try out this diet. As with any new habit, it can be challenging to get started, so that's why I recommend using a customized keto diet website where you'll get personalized feedback on your statistics, lifestyle, and weight loss goals. Click the link below this video to discover how a customized keto plan can jumpstart your weight loss journey and help you achieve your goals.
All right, beautiful people, listen, I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, and thank y'all for engaging with me on this video. If we get these videos to be on and pop and all these videos get 50 likes, I'm gonna do a live panel discussion with some peoples and we can really get it popping. But do me a favor, leave those comments and hit that like button. I love y'all. Deuces.